welcome to the DCS F-4E Phantom II All-Weapon and Capabilities Showcase. This is based off of a video from another channel, which I will post a screenshot of. Please follow him and subscribe to him, watch his video. I have already made a video based on that with the F-18 around a year ago, and this is a follow-up to that with the F-4E Phantom II. Just be aware, the F-4E is obviously a Cold War jet, and I'm not great with it, but I love it so much. Just ignore the misses. It's just meant to be a chill weapon showcase, and hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, and on to the video. The AIM-9 Sidewinder is your normal heat-seeking missile. It is short range with a range of maybe up to 4 miles. It is perhaps the best air-to-air weapon the F-4E has due to it not relying on the mid-radar, but if you equip it, you must limit some of your air-to-ground ordnance. I usually bring 4 of these and use the special weapons adapter. The variants go as follows. B. Rear aspect only, very limited maneuvering, caged, almost always spoofed by 1 flare. Very short range. Almost useless. J. Still rear aspect only, maneuvers a lot better. I believe it also has somewhat better range, although it's still pretty bad. Julie. It is the J model with an L seeker on it. This makes it all aspect, which makes it a lot more versatile. Everything else is the same as the J though. L. This was a big redesign, making it a lot more maneuverable, adding most importantly an all-aspect seeker head, along with much better range. This is quite a good model. M. The best AIM-9 the F-4E can carry. The most notable additions are the smokeless motor and the IR-CCM. This makes it a lot less susceptible to flares, although in DCS this is mostly represented as merely RNG. The smokeless motor makes it harder to spot. In real life, it had other improvements such as solid-state electronics, which made it more reliable. In DCS, this is not represented. P. From what I can find, it is basically just a J, but with slightly more range and slightly more off-bore sight capability, in addition to solid-state electronics. It is mostly meant for export, but a ton of them entered into US service anyways. P3 had a new fuse system and added a reduced smoke motor, but was otherwise the same as the aforementioned P. P5. The same as before, but has an all-aspect seeker and IR-CCM. This is almost as good as the M, and it is pretty hard to tell the difference between the two. As for the pylons you can carry the AIM-9 on, you can carry up to 4 of them on pylons 2 left, 2 right, 8 left, 8 right. The AIM-7E, E2, F, M. These are decent mid-range missiles, Fox 1. The AIM-7E is the base variant, and it's just okay. It takes a while to become fully maneuverable off the rails, which causes it to not be all that maneuverable. It also has a short-burning motor, which gives a pretty bad range. The E2 is the E, but reconfigured for close-range combat. It has been given better maneuverability, or rather they changed the timing for it to pull its full G-forces. It now has better close-range performance at the cost of long-range energy retention. I'm not sure I'd call it better, it's just different. The F has much better range due to a new 2-stage motor, boost and sustainer, which allows it to keep up its maneuverability further out. It has improved electronics and a seeker and resists countermeasures better. It blows the previous variants out of the water. This and the M also have faster warm-up times. AIM-7M has better tracking precision along with better motor and electronics, and resists countermeasures even better. In game it's a bit hard to tell the difference between this and the F, but this is the best variant for sure. As for what pylons you can carry the Sparrows on, you can carry up to 4 of them on pylons 3, 4, 6, and 7. Unless if you are carrying a targeting pod, you should always bring the full 4 loadout if possible. If you are, you can still bring 3. Reminder that you cannot fire the first 2 if you have the center fuel tank equipped, you must jettison it before you drop them. The M61 A1 Vulcan is just your average autocannon. It carries 639 rounds of ammunition and can fire up to 6,000 rounds per minute. It is decently effective and is thankfully finally integral. Mark 81, 82, 83, 84. The Mark 80 series bombs are just your normal dumb bombs. For now, until we get the DMAS variant, we do not have a CCIP mode, so these can be a little bit tricky to drop. I found that dive toss is the most accurate way to drop these, but it's almost impossible to do with any clouds, and overall makes these somewhat more difficult to use than you would expect. Plus you have to open up the bombing table, etc. Dumb bombs are super cool, but they require a lot of skill to use well. If you can master them, then you will fare well. The variants go as follows: 81 250 pound, 82 500 pound, 83 1000 pound, 84 2000 pound. You also have the air and snake eye variants, which are just different forms of retarded bombs, meaning you can fly lower and not have to be afraid of damaging yourself. You have the Mark A2 Air, which is an inflatable chute system, along with the Mark 84 Air, which is just the 2,000-pound variant, and the Mark A2 Snake Eye, which uses deployable fins. The training variants are the 50 HD, which is the Mark A2 retarded bomb, and the 50 LD, which is the training version of the Mark A2 low drag variant. You can carry up to 24 Mark 81 or Mark A2 bombs on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. You can carry up to 9 of the Mark A3s on pylons 2, 5, and 8. You can carry up to 4 Mark 84s on pylons 1, 5, and 9. The SAMP-250 is just a dumb bomb that's 250 kilograms, which leads it out to be slightly more powerful than a Mark A2. Overall, you cannot carry nearly as many of them as the Mark A2, making them just a slightly more powerful bomb that you have to carry less of. You can carry up to 15 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. M117. These are 750-pound dun bombs, just an in-between between the Mark A2 and Mark 83. You can carry 17 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. BDU-33. These are tiny, cute training bombs, 25 pounds each. Not sure why you'd use these in-game. You can carry up to 24 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. BL-755. This is just an average cluster bomb. It has 147 bomblets. You can carry a decent number of them. It has heat warheads, which are best used against ground vehicles. You can carry up to 13 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. CBU-52 Bravo. This is 220 bomblets. This is high explosive fragmentary bombs and is best used against personnel or light vehicles. You can carry up to 10 of them on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. CBU-87. This has 202 bomblets. This spreads its munitions further out and has a combined shape charge, fragmentation, and incendiary effect, which makes it anti-personnel, material, and even armor. This is probably the best variant. You can carry up to 14 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. Mark 20 Rockeye. This is 247 bomblets. You can carry up to 6 of them on just pylon 5. AGM-62 Walleye 1. This is a 2,000-pound TV-guided bomb. This makes it quite easy to use on large ground targets, but it is very difficult to use against vehicles. Thankfully, they are fire and forget, which is very helpful. You are able to carry 4 of them on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. The Walleye 2 variant has better range and is a 2,000-pound variant. You can carry 2 of them on pylons 2 and 8. GBU-8 Hobos. This is a 2,000-pound TV-guided bomb, but is worse range than the others due to it not being purpose-built. You can carry up to 2 of them on pylons 1 and 9. GBU-12 1024. These are laser guided, meaning you have to be guiding it with the targeting pod the whole flight. These, in my opinion, are some of the coolest weapons that the F-4 has, but due to the limitations of the targeting pod, are pretty difficult to use. Use this mostly on buildings or structures that have a known location. The 12 is the 500-pound variant, the 10 is the 2,000-pound variant. The 24 is a 2,000-pound variant with better range. You can carry up to 6 of the GBU-12 on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. You can carry up to 4 of the GBU-10 on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. You can carry up to 2 of the GBU-24 on pylons 1 and 9. As for the BDU-45LG, those are the training variant, and you can carry up to 6 of them on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. Mighty Mouse rockets. These things are absolutely amazing. You can carry so many of them and they do good damage. You have a few different warheads, such as white phosphor, which is for marking target areas and burning people, HE, which is for infantry and light armored targets, and heat for armored vehicles. You can carry up to 285 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. AGM-12 ABC. This is a manually controlled air-to-ground missile. It is frankly one of the most awful weapons of the F-4E. It requires intense focus and concentration, which makes it incredibly difficult to operate, as the pilot is controlling 2 aircraft at the same time. If you can get good with them though, you have my admiration. The A variant is a 250-pound version, the B is extended range with a new liquid fuel rocket, and the C is a 1,000-pound variant with even more range. I almost never take these if I can. You can carry up to 4 of the A and B variant on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. You can carry up to 2 of the C variant on pylons 2 and 8. AGM-45A. This missile exists. It is an anti-radiation missile, which makes it passive. It is mostly only useful against SAMs such as the SA-2 or SA-3, maybe even with the Right Seeker, the SA-6. It's pretty difficult to use, and you must pick the Right Seeker or it will be completely useless. It is rather difficult to employ. It also does not do a lot of damage either. I personally found it of quite limited utility, but if you can make it work, more power to you. You have to know already what SAMs will be the environment and equip the right seeker, or you will be wasting missiles. The worst part about it is its terrible range. It's basically the AGM-88 harm, but 20% of its power. You can carry up to 4 of them on pylons 1, 2, 8, and 9. And here in the footage you can see, yeah, not great range. AGM-65 A, B, D, G. This is a TV or IR guided missile for use against ground vehicles, though the G is better used against buildings. It has decent range and is fire and forget. This is one of my favorite weapons to bring, and it is pretty easy to use. The A has around a 450-pound warhead and is the first variant. The B has a more zoomed in view and is still TV guided. The D has a slightly larger warhead, allows you to choose which zoom to use, and is IR guided, making it better for ground targets and making it usable during night. This is probably the best variant. The G has a bigger warhead and is better used against larger targets. You can carry up to 6 of the A, B, and D variant, which makes them my favorite weapon the F-4E has. You can carry up to 2 of the G variant on pylons 2 and 8. But if you equip them, you cannot bring any Fox 2s. CBU 1A, B, 2A, 2BA. These are rocket pods, except they drop the bomblets from behind. These are almost like retarded bombs, except many of them. These are pretty old weapons, but are a ton of fun. They're mostly anti-personnel weapons, though. The 2A and 2BA have limited light vehicle destroying capability. You can carry a ridiculous number of them, up to 2,565 of them on pylons 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. ALQ-131 ECM pod. This is a jamming pod for the F-4E. DCS doesn't have great jammer pod capabilities, but it looks cool. You are not missing out on anything, though, if you do not have it equipped, as so far as I can tell, it has no practical effect. You can carry up to 3 of them on pylons 2, 5, and 8, though having more than one has no improvement to jamming capability, unfortunately, thanks to DCS. The AN AVQ 23 Pave Spike has 2 variants, the normal and the Smart Tac. This is one of the first targeting pods equipped to aircraft. It exists, it shakes a lot, it's difficult to control, and just in general it's pretty weird to use. The Smart Tac variant just makes it have more accurate ranging, in addition to making it be able to move its view faster. I think this is one of the coolest looking targeting pods, and I love using it, but just don't expect a lightning targeting pod or something like that. It's pretty ancient. Once we get the DMAS upgrade, we should see a better targeting pod. You can carry 1 of them on pylon 4. SUU-23. This is just the main can of the F-4E, aka the M61 A1 Vulcan, but mounted to a pod. Remember, you can only use up to 3 gun pods at a time, that you can carry more for fairing purposes. It is 6,000 rounds per minute. It's fun. You can carry up to 3 of them on pylons 1, 5, and 9. SUU-25. This is a target marker flare pod, which is 8 illumination flares. These allow you to engage at night. You can carry up to 48 of the flares on pylons 1, 5, and 9. The AN ALE 40 countermeasure pod is always a must carry and can carry up to 120 countermeasures. I personally like the 30 flares and 60 chaff option most of the time. You can carry it on the CMS pylon. As for fuel, I always carry at least 1 fuel tank due to the F-4E super fast fuel burn. You can carry a 600-gallon fuel tank on pylon 5 and 2 370-gallon tanks on pylons 1 and 9. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was 10 months ago that I promised to make more F-4E Phantom 2 content. Yes, I know it didn't happen. Look, it's been crazy. Those of y'all who know me know what happened. But here I am now. I'll continue posting whatever I do. You know how it goes with me. Hope y'all have a good day. God bless. See ya.